Be courageous, challenge orthodoxy, and stand up for what you believe in. Namaskar, welcome to Next IS. I hope you are doing well. In this video, we will cover major headlines of the Hindu, Indian Express, and Press Information Bureau. So, without wasting any time, let's start today's discussion. Now, recently, Union Cabinet, chaired by Prime Minister, approved the increase in the minimum support prices for all mandated Kharif crops for marketing season 2024-2025. Talking about minimum support prices or MSP, it is part of the government's agricultural price policy. It is the price at which government offers to procure farmers' produce during the season. It works as a tool to stabilize production and control consumer prices. Cabinet Committee of Economic Affairs announces the MSP at the start of each sowing season, taking into account the recommendations of the Commission for Agricultural Cost and Prices. The key considerations while recommending the MSP for crops are demand and supply, production cost, price trends in the domestic and international market, and likely implications of the price on consumers. Now, recently, International Center for Integrated Mountain Development published the annual snow update report, and this report found significant fluctuations in snow persistence between November and April every year. In India, snow persistence in the Ganga, Brahmaputra, and the Indus River basins dropped significantly in 2024. Now, what is snow persistence? So, friends, it is a fraction of time snow is on the ground. When this snow melts, it provides water to people and ecosystem. In the river basins of Hindu Kush Himalayas, snowmelt is the biggest source of water in the streams. Talking about Hindu Kush Himalayas, this mountain extends around 3500 km over 8 countries, which includes Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Bhutan, China, India, Nepal, Myanmar, and Pakistan. These mountains are also called the water towers of Asia because they are origins of 10 crucial river systems on the continent, and these river basins provide water to almost 1/4 of the world's population and are significant freshwater source for 250 million people in the Hindu Kush Himalayan region. Now, recently, India and US agreed to work closely on technology, develop collaborative programs for geological research agencies, and quickly finalize an agreement on critical minerals. And do you know, friends, in July 2023, India released a list of 30 minerals critical for the country and has been looking to acquire mines abroad in addition to expanding exploration within the country. And in this context, Mines and Minerals Development Regulation Act 1957 was amended through 2023 Act. Next article talks about sickle cell disease, and it is in the news because researchers are working to develop gene therapy using CRISPR-Cas9 to fight sickle cell disease, which is a group of inherited red blood disorder. In someone who has sickle cell disease, the hemoglobin is abnormal, which causes red blood cells to become hard and sticky and look like C-shaped farm tool called sickle. Talking about CRISPR-Cas9, it is a gene editing tool which consists of an enzyme that behaves like molecular scissors, and it can be directed to cut a piece of DNA at precise location. This will then allow a guide RNA to inert changed genetic code at the sites of the incision. Next article is related to Nalanda University, which was recently inaugurated by the Prime Minister of India. It was established through Nalanda University Act 2010, which formed the basis for implementing the decisions arrived at the Second East Asia Summit in the Philippines in 2007 for establishment of the university. And do you know, friends, the ancient Nalanda University was established in 5th century and it attracted students from all over the world. This ancient university flourished for 800 years before it was burned down by invaders in the 12th century. Now, recently, Russia and North Korea have signed an agreement to strengthen their military cooperation, including a mutual defense pledge in case of an attack. Earlier, North Korea and former Soviet Union signed a treaty in 1961, which necessitated Moscow's military intervention if the North came under attack. This deal was discarded after the collapse of the USSR, replaced by a pact in 2000 that offered weak security assurances. Now, Australia is interested to conclude negotiations for the Comprehensive Economic Cooperation Agreement with India in next 6-7 months. Earlier, India-Australia Economic Cooperation Trade Agreement came into force in December 2022. Talking about the present status of economic relations, in 2023-24, India imports from Australia declined 15%, but India's exports during the fiscal year increased 14.23%. Australia was 13th largest export destination, accounting for 1.83% of total exports in 2023-24, and Australia was India's 14th largest import source, accounting for for 2.39% of the total imports during the fiscal. Now China is trying to connect Southeast Asia for expanding Belt and Road Initiative. Talking about Belt and Road Initiative, it was officially announced by China in 2013. It was established with two primary components, the Silk Road Economic Belt and 21st Century Maritime Silk Road. The Economic Belt part of the strategy aims to build and expand land routes for people and commerce across Europe, the Middle East, Central Asia and Asia. Meanwhile, Maritime Road component consists of plans for expand sea routes across East Asia, South Asia, the Middle East and Africa. Now recently, Union Cabinet chaired by the Prime Minister approved the proposal of Ministry of Home Affairs for Central Sector Scheme, National Forensic Infrastructure Enhancement Scheme. Under this scheme, Ministry of Home Affairs will establish campuses of National Forensic Sciences University and Central Forensic Science Laboratories in the country. It will also focus on enhancement of existing infrastructure. According to recent State of Global Air report, air pollution has caused 8.1 million deaths around the world in 2021, with China and India accounting for more than half of the global burden. As per the report, air pollution is considered to be one of the biggest killers globally, second only to high blood pressure. And recently, Union Cabinet approved the Viability Gap Funding Scheme for offshore wind projects. It is a major step towards implementation of the National Offshore Wind Energy Policy notified in 2015. Now, what is Viability Gap Funding? So friends, it aims to supporting infrastructure projects that are economically justified but fall marginally short of financial viability. So with this, let's conclude today's discussion. Thanks for listening, and for regular updates, you can follow us on various social media platforms.